Jim Carrey was suspiciously not present at the Oscars this year, and it's led many people to question why that was the case. A man by the name of Alexis Stone had previously claimed that he replaced Jim as a body double for the César Awards in France. But that leaves the burning question: what happened to the real Jim Carrey? The answer, it seems, may be much worse than expected. We haven't heard from Jim in a long time, and Katt Williams is now pulling back the curtain on what may have happened. According to Believed.
Are you aware of everything? And the reason why I ask you that is, even though if you know how to appear and disappear, right?
Right.
It seemed like you still hear things and see things, just from the conversation that we had before we sat down.
That's part of the disappearance. Like I'm saying, I'm not disappearing to twiddle my thumbs. I'm disappearing to do the behind the scenes work, the inner work, the shadow work necessary to pull off what it is I'm trying to pull off against, at times, supernatural competition.
Katt is someone who has long spoken on the culture of oppression and silence in Hollywood, and he has on several occasions mentioned that people who speak out against it are either cast out of the industry or simply never seen again. One of those people, as we know, is Jim Carrey. He has always been something of a truth teller, telling the general public about the presence of the Illuminati and the lack of authenticity in Hollywood. He has been repaid for that with humiliations like being kicked out of award ceremonies in 2019.
Jim Carrey is nominated for his show Kidding.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Jim handled it masterfully, even if to the audience, it looked like a strange moment. He just went along with it like it was part of the show. Still, moments like that helped build the strange stories people talk about today. Carrey had already made headlines a few years earlier when he took the stage at the 2016 Golden Globes and gave one of the most unusual speeches of the night. Instead of the usual polite jokes, he decided to question the whole idea of awards.
Thank you. I am two-time Golden Globe winner Jim Carrey. You know, when I go to sleep at night, I'm not just a guy going to sleep. I'm two-time Golden Globe winner Jim Carrey going to get some well-needed shut-eye.
The audience laughed, including actor Denzel Washington, who couldn't hold back his smile. But underneath the jokes, Carrey was also making a deeper point. He explained that awards feel huge when you're inside Hollywood, yet when you step back and look at the entire universe, they are actually very small. He was basically questioning why this was important and the culture of propping up puppets in Hollywood. And that kind of message isn't something Hollywood always likes to hear. That's why some fans believe what Katt Williams has been saying. When someone starts questioning the system too loudly, why do they always disappear? After reaching the top of Hollywood, Carrey started talking openly about fame and how empty it can feel. In interviews, he began explaining that identity itself might be an illusion, that the personality people see on screen is just a character. Some fans believe Carrey had simply gone through a deep spiritual awakening. He spoke openly about the influence of spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle and about searching for meaning beyond fame. But others believe something more serious happened. They point out that Carrey began questioning Hollywood itself, mocking award shows, rejecting the idea of icons, and saying that the entire system was meaningless. And that brings us back to the warning people connect to Katt Williams. Williams has repeatedly claimed that when someone inside the industry starts speaking too openly, the system slowly pushes them out. It's happened to some very famous people before, people who turned out to be right, such as Corey Feldman. All his life, he tried to expose a pedophilic ring in Hollywood, only to be silenced and ostracized.
You freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be.
Nobody talks about it.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them.
For years now, as evidenced on Nightline in 2011, Corey Feldman has been claiming that he and his good friend, the late Corey Haim, were victims of station when they were young actors. Last year, he opened up to our Alex Hudgens.
Why didn't you
Kids are scared. You know, kids don't think I'm going to go. First of all, for me, the person that was doing it to me the most, you know, well, I mean, I could say that the two people that did it to me were both close friends of mine, or so I thought.
Feldman claims Haim endured more than him. In his book Choreography, he alleges that Haim was raped on the set of the 1986 film Lucas. The following year, 1987, their film The Lost Boys came out.
It was when we were both on the set of Lost Boys that, you know, things were happening to both of us, you know, not from anyone on the set, might I clear that up, but, you know, outside elements.
How did people not know when these are two, or did they know and they just weren't doing anything about it?
I mean, I know he told a lot of people. That's the thing that's so upsetting to me. It's not like it's just me that knows this story.
Other people know.
A lot of people know.
They're still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
Back in 2013, on The View, Feldman was insistent that perpetrators are still out there, but says he won't name names due to statute of limitation laws in California. He also has another reason that echoes something we've heard regarding Harvey Weinstein.
From what I've seen, every time somebody tries to bring up a public name and they have a lot of money and power and a publicity machine behind them, the person who does the accusing is the one that ends up looking bad.
Elijah Wood, the man who played Frodo Baggins in The Lord of the Rings, has also corroborated this story. Curiously enough, he has failed to land any major roles since... Why?
In a new interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. What bums me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power. That's the tragedy of attempting to reveal what is happening to innocent people. They can be squashed, but their lives have been irreparably damaged." The 35-year-old adds, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey."
I can get a good career doing this. You know, it's going to be good.
Wood says he was not a victim of abuse because his mother, Deborah, protected him and he avoided those kinds of situations. He goes on to allege that even as an adult in the industry, he has been, quote, led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening.
It seems that all of this points to an interconnected system where the wealthy and rich have so much power that they believe they can get away with anything, get away with silencing anybody. Actress Rose McGowan once described the industry in a way that shocked a lot of people. She didn't just call it unfair or controlling, she called it a cult. According to McGowan, Hollywood isn't just a place where movies are made. It's a system built on rules that no one writes down, but everyone somehow knows. When she first entered the industry as a teenager, she quickly realized that there were expectations about how you looked, how you acted, and even how you spoke. And if you didn't follow those rules, doors could close very quickly. She explained that many young actors are quietly taught these rules by agents, managers, and insiders. In her case, she was told that her appearance had to meet certain standards if she wanted roles. If powerful people in the industry didn't find you appealing, she was warned, you might stop getting work.
And everyone passed these rules on to you. Female agents were big in my life, and they had definitely a hand in telling me the rules that I had to abide by, such as, you know, you have to have long hair so the men in Hollywood would want to have sex with you. If they don't want to have sex with you, they're not going to cast you.
As more people began questioning the system, another name kept coming up in the conversation, Dave Chappelle. For years, Chappelle was seen as one of the bravest voices in comedy. Many fans still remember when he famously walked away from a massive deal with Comedy Central at the height of Chappelle's show. At the time, the network reportedly offered him around $50 million to keep going. But he walked away. Katt Williams believes Dave did it to protect his integrity. The moment turned Chappelle into a legend for many people. Some said he had seen something behind the scenes in Hollywood that made him uncomfortable. Others believed he simply refused to let the industry control him. He looked at one of Hollywood's alleged gatekeepers in Oprah Winfrey and stuck to his convictions in a now very famous interview.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. That's happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on, and what? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. And I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then... wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a stand.
Either way, his decision only added fuel to the idea that Hollywood had powerful forces operating behind the curtain. But years later, new criticism started appearing. Singer and industry whistleblower Jaguar Wright began raising questions about what she believes is happening now. In several interviews, she argued that even people who once challenged the system can eventually be pulled back into it. According to Wright, Chappelle's recent comedy routines seem different from the rebellious voice people once admired. She thinks Dave might have been compromised. She thinks Dave either sold out or was forced into protecting the elite simply through the amount of money paid to him.
The stuff that Dave Chappelle is doing right now, for me, it's just what it sounds like to me is that they took the bullet points of everything that they were trying to push during the trial, and they gave it to you to do this beautiful monologue, trying to make it seem like, yeah, because government is after the black man, and whatever. And I've never really spoken out against Dave Chappelle. Like I said, you know, I had a lot of admiration for him when he turned down the $40 million with Comedy Central once upon a time ago.
I remember that.
Yeah. I guess he changed his mind when they made it $60 million in Netflix. And now, Charlamagne is getting $200 million out of Netflix. He's getting more than the rest of these.
No, for real.
And who Charlamagne? Wendy Williams' sidekick that he allegedly helped stab her in the back. I mean, and he got a whole child case, G. He's got a whole great case. Like, all these people are weird and sick and got a lot of going on. But everybody's getting rewarded. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that great? Everybody's getting paid. I'm sure Joe Budden is losing his mind. That $20 million that he got out of Patreon is looking like change compared to what Charlamagne got going on over there.
You know,
I don't know, maybe running around butt naked in the middle of the night, banging on doors for him. I don't know.
Oh, Now you know, episode 2 of that documentary, it was titled "What Goes Down Must Come Up," and they're referencing what Diddy was saying as far as what goes up must come down, and what comes down must go up. And you're speaking of these other individuals, and yes, they have had some dark days. Are they not?
Dark days.
It seems
You
like
call them dark days if you're able to elude them, never fully, thoroughly be investigated for them, never have to go to court, be tried, or go to jail like everybody else has to when they do crazy stuff.
And perhaps most shocking of all, there seems to be a large number of satanic cults in Hollywood, often attended by the industry's most powerful. For example, Rihanna's ex-publicist once claimed that at industry gatherings, especially private ones, it was common for attendees to sign non-disclosure agreements and surrender their phones before entering. Jonathan said this practice, in his view, created an environment where participants felt confident that nothing taking place inside the event would be recorded or leaked. Lauren then asked whether he believed the atmosphere at the Manhattan party was simply an example of extreme celebrity excess or something more deliberate. Jonathan responded that, in his opinion, the environment felt ritualistic or staged, pointing to elements like coordinated lighting, unusual music, and symbolic imagery. He made it clear that this was a definite occurrence.
What I'm describing, the New York incident, that was kind of like the Christmas party, because there was a Christmas party before then at this museum that, once again, you go into this basement of this well-known museum. I can't think of the name.
Not Spaghetti.
No. This old house. It's this old Victorian house, real nice, and everybody's like real, like old school, like elite, like Titanic type thing. But underneath, where they had some different paintings, that was like I felt like a satanic vibe. So we went to that party with a friend. That was really strange, but nothing like the next day or the following day when you're like right outside. That's the thing that's so wild when you think about this stuff. These aren't in obsolete locations. This is like hiding in plain sight. Because you could look out the window and see, like you could see like downtown New York, right? Like you're right off Times Square. You could see the action of the city, and that's the thing. And same thing in LA. That was bright during the day. Like getting out into a grocery store. So these are very out in the open. I don't know how they exist.
Do you think Freemasons or Freemasonry is linked to any of this kind of underworld?
I just think it's the underworld. I don't know what it is, but it is definitely dark and satanic. It's definitely not godly in any stuff. It's very anti-Christ, right? Because it's anti of what Christianity is, or even anti-Jewish, what they believe in. It's very, very dark.
Jonathan said that a group of women were brought into the room by a staff member and that guests were invited to choose companions for the evening. He stated that the women appeared uncomfortable and that they did not share personal information when he attempted to speak with them. Because of this, Jonathan said he later wondered whether the situation might have involved some form of exploitation or coercion, though he acknowledged he did not witness any crimes directly and could not confirm the circumstances of the women involved.
The girl that sat next to me, it was so once again so awkward. The girls who sat down next to me, I was trying to talk to her like, who are you? What are you doing? Do you have an Instagram? Like looking right. I was like, here's my Instagram. What's your name? She was like, I can't tell you. But she looked at my Instagram, and this whole time, everybody's around the table. They're sniffing, partying.
Yeah.
And I think a couple are getting it on. But this girl I felt so bad for her, and I was trying to talk to her like, what do you do? What's your name? Do you live around here? And she was trying to be as nice as possible. She didn't speak like great English, right? When they get her, anyways, they pull them out like an hour. The woman comes in, the girls get up and leave. And we sat there for maybe 15 more minutes, and then they escorted us out, back up through the grocery store. And during the pandemic, I thought about that, like, what was that? where was that? And I would talk to Billy, like, what was that place? He was like, do you want to go back? We can go back. We have to schedule it. I was like, no, what was it? But then I started to think, like, that was definitely a human trafficking thing.
We can't say that word, but human
Okay.
transportation. Yeah.
Using transportation, yeah, sorry. That's definitely what that was. They'd bring in all these girls, and then they would move them out, like, in and out, like product. I was like, holy crap. That's the only other time I've seen anything with that kind of, like New York and LA, with that kind of experience, you know?
So back up. So you're on your way to this grocery store, and
Well, we're having a meeting, and Billy, like I said, his mother is Johnny Depp's sister. He's part of his management team, right? He works with the Hollywood vampires and all his groups, and he wanted to show like everybody like a good time. Once again, I can't say like all the people in the lawsuit and stuff like that because of the lawsuit. He wanted to show them a good time because we're working on this project. Right. And that's where he took us. And it was so strange. At the time, I'm just in shock. But then when I processed it and thought about it.
What is going on? Why are celebrities who speak out vanishing? What is happening to them? And who is allowing these alleged satanic cults to operate in Hollywood and silence and manipulate people? These are incredibly important questions that we need answered. But what do you think is really going on behind the scenes? Let us know in the comments below.